People are not addicted to drugs and alcohol. We are addicted to escaping reality. I had to stop going broke trying to look rich. I had to act my wage. You cannot have a positive life with a negative mind. It's impossible. This is the year 2024. If you have an iPhone or an Android, you can make money. If you have a car with an iPhone or an Android, you definitely can make money. It's no excuse. You see, we sometimes confuse stress with responsibility. To escape responsibility, we use drugs, alcohol, we stroll on social media, we're arguing in the comment section with people we don't know, people who don't care about us. We're trying to prove points, we're trying to win arguments, to which we are trying to just avoid reality. All these circumstances that we put ourselves in with the habits and actions that we've done in the past, we're trying to avoid. This is all unnecessary stress. It's completely redundant. You have to call it what it is. When I was broke, I was in a rut. The difference between being in a rut and being in a graveyard is which side of the ground are you on. If you are presently above ground, it's time to get out of the rut. You are alive. You have a chance. It's a possibility. When I was broke, I would spend endless amounts of time trying to tell people how they need to think, trying to change their mind on which they conceive things. Equally, I would want control what they believe in. I wanted to control everybody else's life but mine. What a dumbass I was. How could somebody else take heed in any of my advice when they can just look at me and my financial situation? It was blasphemy. You see, this is how I talk to myself. But when I got tired of being broke, I stopped worrying about controlling everybody else. I stopped worrying about how the world treated me. I started to worry about how I treated myself, how I treat myself. I started to focus on me. I realized a poor mindset yields poor results and shall live a poor life. There's no other way around it. It was all my fault. Nowadays, the highlight of somebody's day is trying to get under somebody else's skin. What a degradation. And you wonder why you're treated like an insect. This is the reality I had. Of course I was getting stepped on by people. Of course they looked down on me. When we were younger, we got rewards and recognition for living up to certain standards, for being good at something. Some way, somehow, adults of all ages nowadays think that stops. No. If you're broke, you need to change something. I'm sorry, if you are in competition with somebody else for $15 an hour at a job, you have to think about this. What do you bring to the table? What is your value? Are you worth $15 an hour as far as skills? Why don't you have skill sets? Skills pay the bills. If you are in competition with somebody else who is willing to pay $15 an hour, willing to get paid $15 an hour, you need to hold yourself accountable, look in the mirror and ask yourself, what the hell have you been doing with your life that somebody else from another country that you won't go to is coming over here and accepting $15 an hour and will do well with that. They will live 5, 6 deep in a house. It will be 5 to 6 individuals in one home. They all have a job. They all are working 12 hours. They all are saving their money because they have a mindset of one day we will open our own business. These questions are, what's the point of working to make somebody else rich? The person you working for, they started where you at. And if they thought like you, your ass wouldn't have a job. You wouldn't even have enough money to go buy you a burger. You understand what I'm saying? You put yourself in a position to you work to be like them. You have the same mindset. If you're at the bottom, you're going to start at the bottom. You give a poor man $1,000, he come back with Jordans, designer jeans, all kind of bullshit. You give a rich man $1,000, he return with $100,000. The difference between the two, mindset and education. You have to educate yourself. You got nothing to offer, but I'm a hard worker. Sometimes you have to work hard in other areas outside of just clocking in and clocking out, trying to compete with somebody for $15 an hour. You're not going to leave America. Stop lying to yourself. The people who you worried about coming over here taking opportunities you didn't want, but now you at the bottom and you can't bargain, you're not going back where they came from. Your ass is stuck in America. You understand what I'm saying? And if you feel offended, that's okay. What's taking you so long to leave if you want to leave so bad? You have no money. Or you realize no matter where you go, you is following you. If you have a bad habit here, you're going to have a bad habit no matter where you go. You can go across the whole world. You cannot outrun yourself. Everywhere you go, yourself follows. If you're not disciplined here, you're not going to be disciplined over there. You see, when you're running around trying to argue on social media, if you had that same persistence and energy into changing your life, imagine where we would be. That's what I had to tell myself. My son will get the same treatment. We're not gonna play this. There's no games being played. You always looking for a way to be a victim. No bueno. Reality is painful. I had to accept it. Once I accept the reality, it's like I just automatically align myself parallel with accountability. It didn't even matter anymore. I didn't want to go through any of the bullshit anymore, and I had to force myself to be disciplined. The majority of us, we truly hate accountability. Trust me, I know. We come up with every excuse to avoid accountability. But remember this, you can either have results or you can have excuses, but you can't have both. I told myself in a month, I can even have results, progress, or I will have excuses on why I don't have results or progress. And each month shall follow. That's discipline. That's accountability. I'm not worrying about what everybody talking about on the internet. People are mad at me for opening my mouth on the internet, telling me not to worry about their life. Dumbass, it's the internet. If you put out into the world how you feel about something, that's you giving your opinion about your state of living. I can give my opinion on my state of living. If you want me to shut up, you shut up. You got people are so angry that they want to get rid of social media, but leave it for the people who want entertainment. Your ass need to stop watching entertainment. You need to get focused. That's what you need to do. But ain't nobody telling you that. I tell you that. You want to know why? Because like I always say, I will tell my son this. My son better not come home and give me any excuse. You have people from other countries that don't come here to just work for $15 an hour. They end up being doctors, lawyers. They end up starting businesses. They end up having no credit, get secure credit cards, use it how they're supposed to. Not like a dumbass, but with somebody with some discipline, with some guidance, with a head on their shoulder, with some brains, with common sense, which isn't so common nowadays. And they build themselves up. They ain't worrying about looking pretty, partying, drinking, smoking, none of it. Of us are in our 20s, we're wasting the valuable years where we can push our bodies, and you make an excuse that it's not worth working so hard. But you'll drink and smoke, and you'll see for 2-3 hours and then wake up and go to a job you don't like to make money you need to feed yourself. Imagine if you put the weed down. Imagine if you put the alcohol down. Imagine if you slept 4 hours instead of 2 or 3, intoxicated and high on whatever the hell you smoking or whatever you doing, and you wake up and you go work more. And you save more, you spend less, and then you educate yourself to either start a business, to work your way from the bottom to the top. Listen, man, if you broke, it's not about what you do, it's how you do it. Some people don't want to be a janitor. Imagine being a janitor who worked hard and eventually start a cleaning business to hire other individuals to then have contracts at elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, libraries, hospitals, where they will refer to those individuals as janitors, and you're cleaning properties and buildings across the city, the town, the state. And now you go from making $20 an hour, $30 an hour, if that's what you're making as a janitor, being an employee for somebody else, to now you're making $5,000 a week. $10,000 a week after paying your employees, workers' comp, insurance, everything else involved. That's how you have to look at it. So you got people coming from other countries, they start out working for somebody, they're cutting grass, they save all their dollars. They live below their means. They don't buy anything but food, somewhere to sleep, shower, and they wake up and work. And eventually they start landscaping businesses. They're out there in the sun where we don't want to be because we're entitled Americans, and they end up having businesses. They can walk into a bank with $20,000 and say, loan me $50,000. I got $20,000 in the bank right now. I can show you I have something. There's something to bargain with. Collateral. I'm giving you the evidence that I can build this money, keep this money. Now you trust me to give me $50,000. I keep my $20,000 cash, and I take that $50,000 loan and I grow my business. I leverage that to grow my business even bigger. See, we don't think like that. We think I'm born in America. You just supposed to gimme. Sitting back depending on daddy government. That's not gonna work. I told myself I gotta stop saying everybody can. Everybody can't work 16 hours. Everybody watch me. All I needed was a phone and a car. And I will work 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours. I'll have 2 jobs. It's not even about just going to school. You got a basic license. I said instead of having a Class C license, I'm going to get a Class A license. Immediately I had more options. Immediately I became more valuable. Instead of making minimum wage at a tow company, they wanted to pay me $30 an hour. Instead of making $20 an hour just driving a box truck, I went to making $45 an hour. Now I'm in California, so it's different. But I'm from Florida. I know how it is everywhere because I got friends that are entrepreneurs. They own 3-4 trucks in Florida. You understand what I'm saying? I know people out here in California who inherited their father's landscaping business. Their father started from nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Zero. But it's all up here. See, we making excuses. We want to control what the government should be doing. Treat yourself like the government. What the hell are you doing? Treat yourself like a business. You don't need nobody to save your money so you can have a 401k. Force yourself to have a 401k. I knew I couldn't start a new chapter in my life if I was still rereading the old chapter. Still going through the words of the old chapter, doing the same old bullshit habits. You can see in my videos. Go look at them. All those big green days. Yeah, and they keep getting bigger. See, I knew I didn't go to school for STEM jobs, science, technology, engineering, and math. I knew I wasn't going to be a physicist, a scientist, a doctor. So I had to grind. Some of you think you're going to get paid $100 an hour to ask somebody, can you help them sign up for a gym membership? Get the fuck out of here. Some of us have degrees, $20 an hour. We went to school for something that didn't even make sense. We just went to school to go to school. I'm not here to belittle you, but I'm here to tell you, you got to hold yourself accountable because nobody's going to come and save you. You cannot sit around until you're 50, 60, 70 years old and say, oh, but the government never fixed the problem. You had problems you needed to fix. Find solutions. I don't want to be around nobody who make excuses. All I want to be around is people who find solutions, people that's putting in the work. Because if there's a will, there's a way. If I can do it, you can do it. My father used to tell us, if you knew better, you would do better. Don't be ignorant to your own demise. He would just straight up call us dumbasses. Nowadays, everybody's triggered or insulted. Sensitive society. But my favorite saying, you should be insulted by your results, not something I'm saying. Because some of us here, some of y'all talking, we're sick. I have a 3-year-old. Some adults out here are just adolescent behaviors, just acting just all childish. I have 3-year-olds that are more mature than some of these people out here. It's insane. Get your ass off social media and go get 2 jobs. Learn how to invest. Stop calling everything a scam. You're the scam. You have adults saying children need to get off iPhones and tablets. Meanwhile, adults are on their phones all day, not learning anything, not doing anything. Some of the kids learning more than y'all. It's sad. It's reality. The simple fact is everybody got excuses. And just like assholes, they all stink.